Welcome everyone to Ultimate Gamer Podcast. This is episode 58, and we've had a 9-month hiatus. Basically, the gist of it is my life fell apart. Everything is finally back on track again. I finally have a place to call home, and I finally have my equipment set up. So this is actually going to be really cool because I'm sure a lot of people are like, wait a second, Ultimate Gamer Podcast is back? Yes, it is. It's new, it's improved, and we got two lovely guest hosts. First up is Erica.
Hello.
So, tell us about yourself.
Well, I'm 21 years old. I live in the same apartment as you.
You do?
Yeah.
This is news to me. I thought I was single. What the fuck?
Yeah, you should go and check the dining room.
Ah, so that's why half my shit's been missing. Okay, I see how it is.
Yes, that's how it is.
And the other lovely person's actually a guy, so I guess he's not lovely, but he's Justin.
Hi.
Hi. Same thing. Tell us about yourself.
Oh, I'm 17.
We don't need to know your age. What the fuck, people? This is not the dating game, okay? Bachelor number one. How old are you? What is your idea of the sexy hot date?
But anyway, I live in the middle of nowhere.
Hey, we live in a desert, okay? Beat that.
Cornfield.
How cold is it by you still?
Let me check real quick. Okay, I really hope this doesn't thing. It is 63 degrees.
It's in the mid-80s over here, and we were swimming this morning out in an outdoor pool.
Lucky. I wouldn't dare go swimming.
Yeah.
How cold it is.
Gotta love Vegas. Wow. Yeah, I used to live in New Jersey. I now live in Las Vegas. That's one of the biggest changes on the show. The show will be uploaded on Wednesdays. Kind of a schedule conflict thing. But yeah. So let's start off with our first topic, and this is a biggie, Konami. Konami kind of shot themselves in the foot today. No one understands what's going on, but they kind of killed off the new Silent Hill that was under development. And there are rumors going around that they fired Kojima, and they changed the developer name of Metal Gear Solid 5.
Wow. Sounds like they've shot themselves in the foot multiple times.
Like?
All three of those names that you just listed. It's just insane.
Yeah, they definitely, knocked themselves off of the list of good companies. I mean, three different mistakes in such a short time, and they also delisted themselves from the stock exchange. So now they're not even reporting their financial earnings in English anymore.
Wow.
So
I heard their pachinko business is booming.
What exactly is that?
Pachinko is where you drop a ball from the top, and it's a gambling game. So instead of using like a slot machine or a pinball machine, it's where you just drop a ball on the top, it hits little pegs, and it falls in a slot. And each slot has a dollar amount, and you pay per ball that goes down or whatever.
Well, at this rate, that's the only business they're going to have.
Yeah, I think it's funny that pachinko is still like a big thing, but apparently it is.
I've never even heard of it.
Konami exists in Las Vegas. They actually have a headquarters for their casino business, and we live not too far from that. We're like maybe 15-20 minutes from Konami's one of their biggest buildings out here.
Yeah, we're less than 10 miles away from it.
Yeah, there's a lot of large companies out here because a lot of video game companies create casino equipment. That's pretty big. But yeah, Konami has a very big namestay out here.
Yeah. But I have a feeling with those three things, they're totally going to have problems in the next couple of years, especially since they're not even like visiting, the IPs that they already have. I mean, take what game was it? Monster Hunter 4. That apparently had a great success. Dragon's Dogma also seemed to have great success. Both of those IPs would be great if they were to make another one of those, and even release it on multiple consoles, release it on the PC. It would hit like big. And here they are just making decisions to shoot themselves in the foot rather than put wings on them.
Well, that's the problem with a lot of companies. It's like Nintendo, and that's another company I want to discuss a bit. But it just seems very boneheaded. Like, who's running these businesses these days, A lot of very piss-poor decisions have been made. And the next one we're going to discuss also is Steam, with their reversal. It only took them 4 days, but the reversal of allowing paid-for mods.
What do you think about that?
At first, I was like, okay. I mean, there is hard work that goes into mods. And I guess they were trying to turn the concept of mods into a viable business where they're getting a cut of it. But ultimately, gamers are not too thrilled with that.
Well, the business structure of the paid-for-mod system was awful. I mean, 25% of the cut goes to developers, the other 75% between Valve and Bethesda. Now, this would be fine if Valve and Bethesda could do effective quality control, but it really just seems like they're just trying to recruit, mod developers to do DLC for them.
I never looked at it that way. That definitely makes sense. Wow. I didn't realize the cut was that bad.
Yeah.
75% for what? Like, that's bullshit. So they basically make a shitload of money off of doing no work at all.
Yeah.
That's every corporation's dreams.
I mean, I'm glad it was limited only to Bethesda, and it wasn't something they were thinking of doing, corporate wide, where every developer would get it. They would have.
Bethesda simply volunteered for that because, Skyrim already had a booming mod community, but that's also part of the reason why it didn't go so well. They should have released a whole new game for it and then tried to do that paid for mod system. Maybe it might have hit a little bit better.
Well, here's the problem with the problem I have with paid for mods setup, especially with the cut. The thing is that a modification requires the full game to be useful. I mean, the mod is useless unless someone owns the game, and I think it's complete bullshit I think a mod developer has the right to charge if they want to. They all want to do the hey, buy us a beer and we'll make this available to you for free, but I don't see how they're violating any copyrights or what have you. They're not releasing a game. They're releasing an extension for a game, a modification. It's like, well, think about it in this way, right? You modify your car, Pioneer, you buy a Pioneer radio to put in your Ford Focus. Ford doesn't get a cut from Pioneer for selling that radio, even though it goes in their car. Yeah, it's a modification of that car. And I think the same rules should apply to video games or software in general. I mean, no one should... there shouldn't be any licensing fees or what have you for releasing a modification to a game because it's the same analogy,
Well, I would venture to say that it's not necessarily the same analogy. I mean, some of these mods, like a couple of them for Skyrim, extend the gameplay content up by like 20, 30, 40 hours in some cases, and those mods are free. But those would be, something that's built on Bethesda's engine. The developer didn't necessarily have to go out of their way and spend $10,000 on an Unreal Source or something in order to develop their mod, in order to develop their, game. That's something that Bethesda did. So yeah, I would say that Bethesda and Valve should get a cut. Not necessarily 75%. I mean, if it were more like 40, 50%, it'd be a lot more fair.
I think Bethesda, if they were entitled to anything, it would be a maximum of 10%. I mean, I think it should be the same model of the Apple App Store, where the developer keeps the great majority of the money, and Apple gets a small cut for being a quality control as well as offering the financial backbone, such as credit card processing and customer service. I really think that that's the business model there. I don't believe that Bethesda or Valve are entitled to any sort of compensation. I really don't believe they are. Yeah, you're making a point that the engine, they're licensing and all that stuff, but the point of it is they're not. These modifications don't require an engine of their own. They're just laying new data on top of pre-existing assets. So I don't understand why they think that they deserve a cut of the money.
Yeah, well, I mean, like I said, it shouldn't be nearly as high. I mean, there is some level of quality control of hosting it, of, making sure that they can provide the financial refunds for, people that are dissatisfied with some mods. And also, it then becomes the Bethesda's responsibility to make sure that mod doesn't get broken. Because what if the developer discontinues that mod? I mean, obviously the people that bought the mod aren't going to get their money back, but it should also fall on Bethesda to make sure that they don't break mods, or if they do break a mod because it's something they have to do, that they can provide compensation to the people who bought it.
Actually, yeah, it does create a pretty hostile environment there. You brought up some points I didn't even think of. That, yeah, let's say Bethesda releases a new patch and it breaks half the mods out there, because now that they want a piece of the cut, they are held to a new standard now. Now they have to offer support to the mod community if, in fact, that these updates break. They have to at least say, hey, this new horse mod, hey, I gotta let you guys know we're releasing a new patch. We tested it with your mod. It's going to break it, but here's what you need to do to fix it. But I don't think Bethesda or any other company would actually uphold that part of the bargain. They're lazy as it is. They rush products out there, and what do you think they're going to take on the responsibility of ensuring that other developers' mods are working? I just think the whole thing stinks and reeks.
Yep, definitely.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with the current model. There's nothing wrong with, allowing donations. I really think it should just stay that way. So I'm kind of glad that this crashed and burned, because it's going to prevent future instances of this. Because if, let's say, Capcom, says, hey, you want to sell a fan remix of Resident Evil, we'll let you do it. They're not even going to actually greenlight it because of this failure and the backlash that was seen with this instance.
Yeah, the only thing that will get green-lighted now will be like Steam Workshop supporting donates. Which is how it should be.
Yeah.
But those donates, 100% of those proceeds need to go to the developer, not in
or at
Valve's
least
pocket.
80%.
A donation should be 100% to the person who you're donating to.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Valve does not deserve a piece of the pie. They really don't.
I agree with that. As for example, if there's a root app on my Android phone and I really like the developer's work, I donate to him, and all of that $5 or $10 that I donate to that developer is that developer's. Google doesn't get it because, hey, that runs on our OS.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, we have a nice little pause. Usually, this is the part where usually one of the previous guys would say something stupid, and we would all laugh for 10 minutes. So let's see. Nintendo. I know. Look, there's a lot to cover. We're only going to cover the most recent news. Nintendo. I mean, they're already announcing that they're working on another console. I mean, this is inevitable. It was something we all expected anyway, so it's not really news. But they're calling it the NX. It's going to change. I don't know. Like, for me, I'm not holding my head up high and saying, hey, Nintendo's definitely going to come and turn around their issues here. But they've really fucked up a lot over the past few years. I mean, the entire launch of the Wii U was completely botched.
Everything of the Wii U was completely botched.
And it's a shame. It really is. Because it has some good games on there. But even then, a game like Pikmin 3 is hard to find because Nintendo ceased manufacturing of games.
They did?
Yep.
Why? I heard it was really good.
I had mixed reactions on Pikmin 3. I didn't really care much for it.
Yeah, because I played that on the game. Pikmin 2 and 1 on the GameCube for hours.
Yeah, Pikmin 3 brand new goes for $80. Used goes for $54.
Yeah.
Jeez Louise, man. That's insane.
It is. I bought it for $60 when it came out.
I really like Mario. Was it Mario Kart 8?
Yeah, Mario Kart 8's good.
I was amazed by the graphics because I'd never seen a Mario Kart with that good graphics.
Well, it's the first Mario Kart in high definition.
Oh, yeah.
See, the other issue with Nintendo games is that their prices don't tend not to drop all that quickly. Mario Kart 8 is still $60 new.
It's been out, what, like almost a year?
Year next month.
And if it were on another console, it'd already be like $30.
On the PlayStation 4, all of the games that were released last year already have a price cut.
Yeah, I think Nintendo's biggest issues lately. Yeah, they're hurting them, and it's more just hurting the brand. It's not necessarily putting Nintendo in trouble financially, because they're just laughing about the Wii U failure. It didn't make them any money. In fact, it costed them money, but they still have plenty of money to really work with. So the NX is just going to be throwing more money at the console market. But from what it's looking like, it looks like Nintendo's falling out of the console market. The Wii didn't hit as well as it could have. The Wii U was a total disaster. So, I mean, it feels like, they're going to have to start going down to the new 3DS and whatever comes up next for the handhelds.
Well, I think ultimately it's the management that needs to go. Because if you think about it, really, Nintendo, they really haven't had a huge success since the Super Nintendo. And I don't count the Wii because, the Wii, even though it did outsell the competition, it sold completely on a gimmick. It sold on the fact that most people were buying them for nursing homes just so people could play Wii bowling. But, the last really good console Nintendo had was the Super Nintendo, and that was such a long time ago.
I thought the N64 was pretty awesome. That was my first console.
Was pretty awesome. It was the first one that really pioneered 3D.
I understand, but it was completely dominated by the PlayStation.
I agree.
PlayStation finally came out.
And the GameCube was an excellent console. I thought it was really great, but
the GameCube was a black horse. I mean, it was an excellent console, but nobody knew about it because
and
it
the
wasn't
damn
really
tiny ass
marketed.
CDs that they used. What were they thinking when they did that?
Honestly, that's not a bad idea. It's not a big deal.
They wanted to make the form factor of the discs really small because they wanted to make they wanted to make it like a tiny little cube.
And no piracy.
No, piracy they wanted to deal with.
People just put custom case, and when they had it apart, they just chip it and put on a custom case. Like, good to go.
Yep.
Oh man.
But I just want them to completely get rid of the Wii name. They need to. If they release one more fucking console with the Wii branding on it, they're just they're done for. Just on the name alone, people aren't going to buy it.
Yeah, the console, they'll be done for in the console market for sure if they release it with the Wii.
If they call it the Wii NX or Wii 2 or Wii U2, like, you know, there's so many names. I think Wii was one of the worst names they've ever called their consoles.
We love you.
Oh, God. We love you. Yeah, there you go. That's Nintendo's next console name.
When I first heard of it, I had heard of the it being called the Nintendo Revolution. It might have just been like the magazine title.
No, the Nintendo Revolution was the code name for the Wii.
That's what they should have called it.
Why didn't they just codename it Nintendo Shit and just yeah, that would have been a much better code name.
No, they just need to release another console like the N64 or the GameCube.
What they need to honestly do is release a console that's like the PlayStation 4. They need a powerhouse of a machine. They need something.
They will, though.
They need something that's easy to develop for. They need something that's cheaper than the competition, more powerful than the competition. They need to get away from these fucking gimmicks.
And the GameCube did all of that at the time of release.
Oh yeah, the GameCube was much more powerful than the PlayStation 2. But the other thing is, it didn't play Blu-rays. Not Blu-rays. It didn't play DVDs.
It didn't even play CDs.
And that's one of the little issues here with Nintendo. It's like, they can't be the media center hub. What would be awesome for Nintendo is if they said, okay, here's the next-gen console. It's going to have 4K Blu-ray playback built in. It's going to have, like, all these great things. People will buy that thing in droves.
They also need to change their focus. I mean, they're targeting little kids and young adults. They need to change like their stance on internet policy. I mean, if you look at the new Super Smash Brothers and the recent games being made with internet connectivity, they're still using friend codes.
Yeah, and not only that, like if you think about Splatoon, they completely fucked it up by not having voice chat ability.
Oh yeah, because kids would get bullied or whatever.
Well, there's a simple solution. Make it a toggle switch. You could make it an option. Put it in there, say, hey, do you want to hear people talk? Yes or no? And just have it, that you could turn it off.
And have a mute where you can mute certain players. I mean, people do it in, first-person shooters all the time because there's this little 5-year-old that's saying, fuck you, and I could have won, and you're a hacker. You just mute him. Why couldn't they have done the same in Splatoon?
Yeah.
I mean, I still want to get Splatoon because it really is unique, creative. It's something new. But
just don't play it on. Is it only online or is there like a single player?
I have no idea.
I mean, the only thing that's really keeping Nintendo in the run right now is just their unique first-party titles.
Yeah. And I mean, it sucks that their new Zelda title was delayed.
Yeah.
Well, if they released on the Wii U, they're stupid. They need to release it on the new console right on release date.
You want them to do something like Twilight Princess, where it releases on both?
Yes, but they need to make sure that it releases like on the release date of that console, or maybe a little bit later than that. They need to make that console be like that thing that you look at and you're like, I want to get that console to play that game,
True.
That's what they did with Super Mario Sunshine. That's what they did with Super Mario 64. I mean, they had that game that you were just like, I'm getting it for that one game.
I mean, the reason I bought the new 3DS is because I wanted to play Majora's Mask 3D.
You could play Majora's Mask 3D without the new 3DS.
Yeah, but I wanted to get something new, and
I mean, I bought
the title.
I bought the new 3DS, and I thought it was really great console.
Why the hell did it not come with a charger, though?
I know, that is so stupid. Don't even get me started on it. It is such a stupid thing for Nintendo to do. Here's something that you can't use it when the batteries die.
Oh yeah,
At least
because
you'll have fun for about 3 hours.
Because I never had a 3DS because I didn't have a charger. So I literally driven all the way home, just probably a good 30 minutes. I open the box and there's no damn charger, so I have to go back out again about 30 minutes. So it wasted about an hour of my time and quite a bit of gas. So it's like, really?
Yeah, it is stupid. I guess the next game console won't come with a power cord either.
It probably won't come with the controller.
It probably won't come with a logic board. You'll just get a blank plastic case that it's like, oh, you have to buy the motherboard. The motherboard's like $200.
But could you imagine Nintendo if they released a game console that was so much more powerful than the PlayStation 4?
Well, I mean, they can pull it off if they just actually try to pull out another GameCube. I mean, they need to focus less on the PR and they need to focus less on the little kids. I mean, the biggest video gamer demographic is those in their 20s.
You mean us?
Yeah. So, you know, if they focus on that demographic, which can buy just about any age-restricted content, you know, they need to focus on, you know, being like the other two consoles. They have parental controls to deal with little kids. That's what Nintendo needs to do.
True.
See, 17 is the minimum age that someone can legally buy M games, right?
Well, no, you can legally buy M games at any age.
Oh.
There's no law that states that you can't.
Yeah, that's right. But they'll let you buy games at 17 at a store.
Or if you actually argue with them. Like, I go to Target, and I always argue with them, so I never have to give them my ID.
I just buy my shit on Steam.
Or you could just buy it online.
Buy your shit on Steam where everybody's birthday is January 6th.
Well, what I'm planning on doing, and this is actually going to be fun, is I'm planning on buying a rated M game from GameStop. Now, here's the issue. I don't look a thing like my ID.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's my current issue.
They're going to give you shit on that.
They're totally going to give me shit on that. And the funny thing is, it's illegal for them to do that. There's a lot of laws in Nevada that protect people like me. But yeah, I tell you, like, I've run into so many times where, like, people won't believe me that my ID is that. Because I look like a girl, but my ID is a guy. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to record them doing it, too. I'm going to have Erica holding my iPhone and recording them while I try to buy it. And if they give me a hard time, oh, that shit's going on Amazon, on YouTube real fast. And the title will be like, GameStop hates trans people.
And then it'll like go viral, and then GameStop will have to explain what went on.
Hell yeah. It would be really fun.
And then you'll end up on the news again.
Oh, no. I hated that. I really hated when CBS used a clip from my video, because I had one messy ass room at the time. Really did.
That's that one about, like, I think it was about, like, Verizon or something.
Yeah, that was the Verizon $2 fee thing.
I'm on Verizon right now.
I'm on T-Mobile. Boom.
Mom hated T-Mobile, and since she's the one that pays the phone bill, I have to go where she goes, so, yeah.
She made the wrong choice, but it's okay.
Signal is shit here with T-Mobile. And there's a few other issues, but it would take an hour to explain all the issues. But I'm not gonna do that.
You should just move to Vegas, you know?
If I moved anywhere, I'd probably move out of the country.
Why?
I don't know. I would probably want to move to Japan.
Why Japan?
Japan seems fucking awesome.
Wow, we're
Japan
surrounded by
has a bunch
weeaboos.
Japan has a bunch of freaky shit, and you know most of their culture is from like the '80s. They haven't moved on. They're behind America for crying out loud, and that's actually
The
saying
80s.
something.
So right now they're probably watching an episode of Miami Vice. Going,
Yeah,
oh man, this
probably.
is the latest shit.
Probably. No, like if you're gonna move out of the country, go to Europe. They're better than us.
Like, oh man, this Crockett, he's a total badass.
This is fucking stupid.
What?
You can now buy Mewtwo and Super Smash Brothers if you didn't use the promotion offer.
Yeah. Nintendo has some paid DLC now.
This is so stupid.
However, I have to give them credit. Nintendo's DLC is a lot more bang for the buck.
Why? Okay, so how is it bang for the buck if Mewtwo was a character in previous Smash Brother games?
Yeah.
So why the fuck does he cost $5?
Well, it is an entire character rather than paying $5 for a skin.
I think it's bullshit.
It's bullshit, but it's better than the other companies, so...
Nah.
You gotta give them that.
It's not much better.
Nah, it's bullshit.
DLC is bullshit.
Yeah.
It is.
DLC should have stayed strictly what it started as. I mean, the first DLC was the Armored Horse. That's what it should have stayed as. It should have just been stupidly cosmetic stuff.
Or extras that you don't really need. Because
That
there's...
you don't really need, or for the most part, don't really want to actually play the game.
Like when I had Halo 4... Oh god, what a shitty game. But when I would go online, there would be like several games I couldn't play unless I paid money.
Yeah.
It's like, why? I mean, I think I could play like King of the Hill and, you know, a couple others, but I mean, the rest is like, I think it was like 20 or 30 bucks or something to get all of them. I can't remember.
Battlefield 4 is much the same way with their mini expansion packs that don't really seem to add that much except for a couple of guns and a level or two. Like, I feel like they should have either expanded that already by itself, you know, inside the game. I paid $60 for the game, you should be expanding and supporting it from then there.
The only first-person shooter I play is probably Team Fortress 2. Because I think they do a really good job with DLC and all that. Because, like you said, it's just simple, you know, there's a few guns and stuff, but it's mostly cosmetic shit. Like, I mean, you can have, like, you know, reindeer horns on Scout and, you know, reindeer nose and, you know, simple stuff like that.
I like the business model of League of Legends. You can play for free. If you want to keep the character, you earn points while playing the game and you can unlock characters. Or you can spend money to get characters sooner. They rotate the free champions weekly. And on top of that, if you really want to have custom, you know, like different skins, it's entirely cosmetic. And yeah, you can buy it. But they don't let you pay to have the edge over someone else.
Yeah, you can never really have the edge over somebody else.
Oh yeah, pretty much the only way you can get good at League of Legends is actually play and get good.
Exactly, you need to be a high level to have the high runes and marks.
Which is much the same way that Heroes and Storm's also doing it.
Exactly, and you also can't buy runes or marks. You have to earn them while playing. And that's the way you do it.
Yeah. Because, I mean, I don't play League of Legends that much. I played a little bit, and quite honestly, I like it, and it's fun, but I am absolutely shit at it. I'm terrible at League of Legends. Again, with the silence.
The silences, I really am pissed off about the whole Mewtwo thing. That's stupid.
Yeah. I mean, I understand that some F2P games have to have some some way to get their money. And, you know, only a handful of games have actually been able to do it right. I actually like the ones that offer, like, you know, some amount of free content and then offer a bunch more with the subscription service. RuneScape is a notable one that did that really well. Of course, now the game's gone to shit, but they did the free-to-play model extremely well. I mean, you got a good 30, 40 hours worth of content that was
People still play RuneScape?
Yeah, they do.
I thought RuneScape was dead years ago.
Nah, it's nowhere near the way it was back in like 2007, 2008, but it's still around. And, you know, it was like 30, 40 hours of gameplay back then, and you'd pay $5 a month, and you'd get the entire game, you know?
Mm-hmm.
That's how free-to-play should be. And, you know, that's how just about any game should be now. They should impress me with that first 10 or 20 hours, and then say, hey, we'll give you continued updates if you pay us an extra, you know, $5, $10 a month every month. And it should be every update, you know? Every little thing that they decide to add into the game. I get access to it if I pay you a subscription.
Yeah, I just hate the business model of games these days.
I quite honestly, I'm very, very picky about the games I buy because, one, I'm a broke-ass gamer, I guess you could say.
And nowadays, half of the games are lemons.
Yes. Yep. So
you can't just walk in and buy a random game off the shelf and expect to be entertained for 20 hours.
You can't even expect to be entertained for an hour. I've like bought games where I played it like an hour. It's like, this game fucking sucks.
And that's when you're choosing the game. It's not just you know, picking a game at random off the shelf.
Yeah.
You know, back in the game, you could do that. You could just, you know, take any random game that you've never heard of, pop it into the game disc, and you'll probably be entertained for the rest of the night.
I did that one time. It was a few years back. It was a PlayStation 1 game. Something Oddworld or something?
Yeah, Oddworld.
Ah, dude, that game was really freaking creepy, but it was awesome.
Huh.
Yeah. I think I found like the second one.
And, you know, nowadays, you know, developers are having less and less creativity, so now there's less and less of that, you know, that thing that makes you want to play this game or that game. You know, it's just a copy paste into another storyline.
Yeah.
I mean,
you guys...
look at Shadow of Mordor. It's basically Assassin's Creed with Batman's combat and Lord of the Rings lore.
Do you guys have a GTA 5 for the PC?
Yes, I do.
Is it pretty good?
Yes, it is.
It's not like fucked up or a lot of bugs or anything.
No, not that I'm aware of. It's much more stable than PlayStation 3 edition.
And it's better than the PlayStation 3 edition.
And it plays 60 frames maxed out on my rig.
Nice. You still have a 690?
Yes, I do.
Awesome. I've still got dual 760s, so I mean...
It's just not that bad. My 690 is still better.
My dual 760s is equivalent, from what I've heard, to a single 780.
I have a single 770 in mine.
Lucky.
Yeah, it's good.
Now,
it's good enough to play most anything out there now, so, you know.
I know you guys can't stand my rig for this, but I have an AMD CPU.
Oh, God.
Hey, I had a choice: either get really badass graphics cards or get a really badass CPU. I chose
Intel for life, yo.
Same here. This is an Intel-only household, so if you have an AMD machine, I will throw it against the wall.
Then you'll have to give me your Intel build of a 690.
No.
So I'll go ahead and bring it over. I'll just take your rig home.
No, there's gonna be a sign at the door, so legally I'm in the right.
No AMD machines allowed.
Exactly.
AMD machines will be prosecuted to the full extent on that wall.
The brick wall.
or should I say, AMD machines, if they trespass, will be shot once. If it moves or its power's on, it will be shot again.
And repeatedly shot again until it refuses to power on again.
Well, it's simple. All I have to do is just shoot the processor.
Oh, remember though, I've got an H80i. That might be a little difficult.
I'm sure a bullet will go through that.
Yeah, but it'll like squirt liquid cooling all over my board.
Which will cause it to die. I'll make sure it's powered on while I do that.
I'm pretty sure if you shot the CPU, it wouldn't stay powered on very long. So.
Well, it'd probably have like a kernel panic and then blow up.
It would probably have like an entire panic and probably blow up.
Wow. Do you know that PlayStation 4s with PT already installed on them are going for $1,000?
PT?
Yeah.
The Silent Hill demo thing.
Oh yeah. They pulled that.
You know what? It wouldn't surprise me if, give it another 20 years or so, if the game has been started on or somewhat done, that give it 10, 15, 20 years that game might get leaked or something.
True.
Who knows?
Out of curiosity, what are you doing?
Me?
Yeah, because you're making a lot of noise.
Sounds like he's eating chips.
No, I'm not eating or anything.
You like playing with a plastic wrapper or something?
No.
Hmm.
I'm in my room, so that might be.
No, I just hear like crackling sounds, and it sounds like you're eating like a Pop-Tart or something.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Oh, here we go. I could sell a gently used, impeccably semen-coated boxer shorts for $75,000.
What?
Repeat that?
Someone wrote that in the comments. I thought that was funny. Yeah, your mom bought them for you on your birthday. Or as I say, P.T. Barnum said it best, there's a sucker born every minute. I just can't believe, like...
People will buy?
Yeah, the fact that, you know, they canceled Silent Hills and then they pulled the PT demo, so everyone's, like, going crazy about that.
Why the hell did they do that?
I don't know.
That was, like, the worst fucking thing they could have done. It's, like, all in, like, a matter of 2 or 3 days.
Somebody just sabotaged the company with these decisions.
Somebody doesn't know what the fuck they're doing and they need to be fired.
I agree.
Yeah.
Hey,
but
quite honest,
that's becoming the case with like a lot of companies now.
they don't give them a reason to do anything good. It's like, oh, well, if I fuck up, I still end up walking with a couple $3 million golden parachute. And I don't really have to do that great. I'll still end up with quite a bit of money.
True.
I should have it, you know, as I mean, if you were to, you know, fuck up at your job and get fired, you're not gonna walk out of there with a golden parachute. It's $2 or $3 million. You might get, you know, a couple weeks' pay, and then that's it, really. And maybe, you know, unemployment. So I mean, it's like, I think they should be held to the same standard where if they fuck up, they fucked up, and they don't really get any money out of it.
Yeah. I personally feel like they're wasting too much money in production. Like, production, yeah, it probably does cost a bunch of money, but I feel like they're not allocating the funds correctly in many times that they're trying to produce things. They also need to stop using deadlines. Some people take longer to make certain games, and rushing them by a deadline is only ruining the games. The only developer that's actually been, you know, saying, hey, look, take as long as you need to. The only one that's really been doing that with the major games is Nintendo. You know?
Rockstar, kind of. I mean,
And Rockstar, yeah.
I
They're
mean,
the
they're
only
like,
developers that
yeah.
are actually saying, hey, take the amount of time you need to complete this game.
I mean, currently it's like, okay, we don't give a shit. Just get it out. You know, we'll piss off people for a couple weeks, and then they'll forget. Once we patch it, they'll forget all about it.
And then look at Assassin's Creed. It's still a fucking mess.
Huh.
I haven't played an Assassin's Creed game in ages.
They stopped being good after Assassin's Creed Black Flag.
I really didn't even like Black Flag that much.
I loved Black Flag. I mean, it was actually still extremely playable. It did have a few bugs. 3 was a mess. And 2 is probably the best that they've ever made. I played a few minutes of Unity, and I experienced like a dozen bugs in literally just the first 10 minutes of the game. Especially one where I was just running straight at a building, and there's climbable spots. I didn't have to move or anything. There's climbable spots all the way up to the roof, and somehow the main character got stuck.
Oh man, that's real. You know, oh man, I'm friends with a software developer, and he always says, you put garbage into a program, the program is garbage.
No, you get garbage in, garbage out.
Yeah, that's what he said. It's not wrong. You know, you get someone on the job that's not qualified, or you rush someone that is, it's going to be shit because the quality control's not there.
Yeah. I mean, if you leave any artist enough time with anything, they'll produce really good shit. I mean, back in the Super Nintendo, back in the N64 days, back in, PlayStation 1, many of these games, they did extend the deadlines. You know, they did say, take all the resources and take all the time you need. We want to make a good game. It's the culture of gamers and the culture of game developers that's kind of changed. Indie developers, no wonder they're better nowadays. They actually are following the old way of developing games.
They care about the
taking
fans.
the resources and time to make sure that they make the fans good. Yeah.
A lot of the big AAA studios, not all of them, have kind of forgotten that if we don't buy their fucking games, they're screwed. Because we are the ones that makes them rich, that and their stock investors. But the stock investors, what they invest in, is determined by what we buy. You know, if we're not buying it, stock investors are like, no, I'm not going to invest in your company. Your company's not doing too great right now.
True.
Which is the big problem that Nintendo's having, but again, they already had the financial backing as a company.
Is their stock pretty bad right now?
It. What?
Is their stock pretty bad right now? Pretty in the toilet?
From what I've heard, yes, but they still have like 10 or 20 or 30 times as much, as much financial power as Sony has, especially Sony. And
Sony's
Microsoft.
like in the shitter right now. Sony's really not doing too great.
No,
Sony's
they're not.
in the shitter, and they still have the best console out there right now.
That's sad.
It's kind of sad it's the best console.
And, Nintendo is doing just okay, and they had a total flop.
Yeah.
So,
And I had a PS4 for about 3 or 4 months. I saw it's like... Because I think I maybe turned it on 5 times. Like, what's the point? There's no fucking games. And I think I had Destiny, and I had The Last of Us remastered.
Yeah, I want to play Bloodborne on the PS4. I wish they'd released that for the PC because I hear that the frame rate problems. Like, even on the PS4, Bloodborne runs at 30 frames a second, which is just inexcusable.
It almost seems like they're limiting the hardware by software.
Well, I mean, the hardware by itself isn't the best anyways. I mean, the graphics card in it's, like, not much better than a 550 Ti.
Wow. And that's pretty old of a card.
Yeah.
550 Ti, that came out in what, 2011?
Yeah.
And that was a mid-range card in 2011.
Yeah, I got one, and it was a pretty good card, but again, you know, the hardware, they can only do so much with what they're trying to do. The consoles, they're trying to make them, like, super small, and yet still able to be a powerhouse. They need to accept that in order to make something better and better, they're going to have to look into different cooling technologies and different form factors and, you know, all these different things. You know, and it's already making the production costs extremely high. I think it was the Wii U. The Wii U actually sold at a deficit. You know, it was costing them more to make it and sell it than they were getting out of the sale. So, you know...
because nobody freaking buys Wii U.
You know, well, that was before they actually released it and realized that the Wii U is a total flop. But... You know, they need to make the consoles bigger. They need to make the consoles, you know, because I'm pretty sure some people would not mind having a console that, you know, is 2 feet by a foot, you know, a big box of a machine. They would not mind having that if it's as powerful as the top-end tech as they've got out right now.
Yeah, I mean, my 2 original Xboxes, I mean, those things are freaking huge. They weigh 5 or 6 pounds. I mean, I have 2 of them on my entertainment center. One of them doesn't work, unfortunately. Unfortunately, it's my nice one. It's my Halo edition. That doesn't work.
The Xbox, the original Xbox, actually had what I'm saying in mind. I mean, they could have made that in a much smaller form factor if they wanted to. And they made sure that the system had plenty of cooling. They made sure that they had plenty of room to use, you know, regular parts to build the thing. And it's damn near indestructible.
Oh yeah. I mean, I've disassembled a lot of original Xboxes. And I've also disassembled 2 or 3 Xbox 360s. Oh god, I hate Xbox 360s.
Yeah, but, 360, you knock it over while it's playing, you scratch up your disc.
Oh no, 360 is... Have you ever taken apart a 360?
I have.
I started to,
oh
I never
god.
finished it.
The cheapest pile of shit ever. I mean, I broke like 2 or 3 clamps being easy with it.
Yeah.
It's like...
just... You know, these consoles are not designed to be portable. So why are we designing them to be portable? They don't need to be portable. They're sitting at a TV.
Exactly.
I mean, pretty much the only original Xbox that I have in sight is my Halo Xbox. Because it looks freaking awesome. And the damn thing doesn't work anyway, which I'm still pissed about. I need to disassemble it and... Yeah. Which, by the way, I literally... First time I took one apart, I beat the crap out of it. Because I fixed it or anything like that. I just... looking around and I didn't break a single thing.
Yeah. I mean, if they were making these, you know... They should be making these the size of a computer rig. Hell, what they're doing right now is SteamOS. That's actually what they've been needing to do for years now. SteamOS, I believe, can make it big if they can market it right. Because, you know, you have the backing of those games, you know?
To a certain degree. But, let's see, SteamOS, that's Linux based, right?
Yes, I think.
I'm
not absolutely sure.
NVIDIA needs to fix their fucking drivers for Linux. And quite honestly, I can see to a certain degree, but a lot of developers are still using DirectX and not OpenGL.
Yeah,
which that is an issue.
That is a limitation. That is an issue. But you know, consoles need to be developed to be modular, and they need to be developed to be a little bit more stationary.
Modular is a problem. Because at that point, just build a fucking PC.
Well, that's the thing. Consoles need to be more like PCs.
Then just buy a PC. There is no in between. It's either you have it or you don't.
Okay, here's why console gamers, that wouldn't work out well for a console. Console gamers, they just want to plug the fucking system in and play it. They don't want to and if, I don't know, like, Sony goes, you can upgrade the GPU later, you know, it's as powerful as a 770, and it costs $200, and they're like, okay, but you have to, you know, you have to take it apart a decent bit, or even disassemble it. Console gamers, like, fuck it, I don't want to mess with it. It works. I like the graphics it has already. It's fine.
Okay, so leave them be. I mean, there's plenty of people who buy the pre-configured computers that you can get off of a Walmart shelf. You know? I mean, it's a stupid decision on some of these people's parts, but, you know, they just want a computer that they can just plug in and play, and it works. So
I built a computer.
Why can't we just build a console to do the same thing?
Because the problem is the pricing model. You know, consumers are idiots. That's a fact. So the thing is, price. That's all I know. Well, look at it in this case. The N64 required an expansion pack to play a few games. And, you know, there are people out there just don't understand that, and, you know, they don't have that expansion pack, so they bring the game home, plug it in, oops, can't play it.
Even though the box clearly marks if it requires it or not.
But here's the other issue, though. Here's the other issue, though, with consoles. There comes a point where you have to replace the whole thing. I mean, it's the same thing with PCs, right? PCs, you can upgrade up to a certain extent, and then you have to replace the motherboard, RAM, and CPU.
Because, I mean, 5-6 years down the road, I guarantee you I couldn't put the latest AMD CPU in my board.
Why the fuck would you want to stay with AMD, you dipshit?
Because AMD's cheap.
Yeah, you cheap fucker.
I mean, for the same price that I got my FX 8350, I think I could probably get like a low-end i7, maybe? Low, maybe mid-range i7.
Yeah.
8350. I feel like that's about the same as an i5 4590.
I have no idea. I think I paid $200 for my 8350.
I paid about $260 for my i7 3770K.
Damn it! I could have just paid $70 more.
I paid $240 for my i5 4590.
There's a store in New Jersey that sells them that way. Seriously, Justin, I'm gonna take your phone. I'm gonna throw it against the wall.
Why?
Because it's been making so much fucking noise. Like,
it sounds like you're eating chips.
It really does.
And maybe I'm high right now. Maybe I actually am eating chips.
Well, maybe. What are you using? You using an iPhone with headphones?
6?
Okay,
Yeah.
You're using an iPhone 6 with headphones that have a microphone on them?
Yeah.
That's your problem. Okay, that's the issue.
Like, are you hearing it now?
Yes.
Yes.
Ah, damn it. How do you switch?
You can't.
Go get a headset.
You have to get headphones that don't have a headset in them.
Okay, let me mute it real quick, and I'll go get my Sennheisers.
So, that's about it for this week. Next week, we're going to have a lot more stuff to say. If you want to be on the show, send me a personal message on YouTube. I'll take a look in those, and I'll send you guys a message so that way we can get you on the show. The show's going to be a maximum of 4 people. Any number larger than that tends to be a complete clusterfuck. So, yes. But I'm glad that the show is back. Are you guys glad or no?
I'm definitely glad.
I've never seen any of the old shows, so I don't know.
Guess who's sleeping outside tonight? And you give me the middle finger. Lovely. No, but it's definitely good. I mean, I would love to get a few of the people who had been on the show prior. I would love to get them back on for more. But, I mean, yeah, that's kind of what happens. But hey, I got fast internet, so these uploads don't take all that long.